Hello, I'm Locky. Tables are great for summarizing ideas with multiple levels or dimensions, while equations or formulas are often used in research papers to represent fundamental concepts symbolically. In this video, we are counting down my top 10 tips for mastering the use of tables and equations or formulas. Let's begin. Number 10. Use tables to summarize ideas with levels or dimensions and enhance reader friendliness. This may seem very trivial or commonsensical, but occasionally it is not as obvious as you think. For example, in this journal article I co-authored, under the section of systematic evaluation of PLS SEM results, I listed all necessary criteria for the assessment of partial least squares structural equation models. While everything looks fine, the whole section is longer than one full page, and a table can really help summarize the information. In a later version of the same journal manuscript, I turned the entire section into a table. The overall length is roughly the same, but the newer version is definitely more reader-friendly. Don't you think? Number 9. Avoid using screenshot images of tables and equations unless there are no alternatives. There are two reasons for this. The first reason is that the texts in the screenshot images get a little stretchy when the images are resized. The second reason is the effect of text pixelization. This will compromise clarity when the electronic document is enlarged, and will compromise it even more when printed on paper. It doesn't look too good here, does it? Number 8. While a figure caption is generally placed below the figures, a table caption is generally above the table. You can also use the insert caption function for tables. Now simply go to References, Insert Caption, then under Options, Label, choose Table, and select the position of the table caption. I am choosing the above selected item in the position list. If you prefer to manually type the table captions, make sure that the font style of your table captions should be the same as that of your figure captions, with font size smaller than that of the table text. A caption should include a description, the source, and a post-editing comment if you have edited it. Number 7. In general, equations do not require a caption. Microsoft Word does not have a full auto caption for equations numbers, and so you can either use LaTeX, LaTeX, or go by these two semi-auto manual method. I'll show you the latter. But before we start, it is important to make sure you did give a number to each section or subsection, and have also used heading 1 and heading 2 under styles. Otherwise, you'll get an error in the equation number later. Method 1 makes use of a 3x1 table. Go to Insert Table and create a 3x1 table. Then in the middle cell, go to Insert, Equation, and enter your equation. Make sure it is centered in the cell. After that, place the cursor in the cell on the right, and under Paragraph, click Align Right or Ctrl R to get the alignment right before we insert the equation number. With the table ready, we will create a new semi-automatic equation numbering system. Go to References, Insert Caption, click new label, and in the text field, type open bracket, then press OK. This will create a new open bracket category under Options label. We will use this category instead of equation from now on. Continue by clicking numbering, and a caption numbering dialog box will pop up. Under Format, choose 1, 2, 3, and check the box Include Chapter Number if you want to. Under Chapter Starts with Style, choose the heading you want the equation to number after. For example, since my major headings such as 1 Introduction, 2 Literature Review, 3 Methodology are under heading 1, and I want my equation numbers to follow that, I will choose heading 1. If I want the equation numbers to follow the subsections 1.1, 2.1, 3.1, and so on, I will choose heading 2. Choose period or full stop under Use Separator and click OK. This will take you back to the caption dialog box. Under caption, you should now see open bracket. Type a close bracket and then press OK. The toughest part is over. From now on, when you need to create the next equation caption, you just need to go to References, Insert Caption, type a close bracket, and then press OK. The final step is simply select the entire table by clicking the mini square at the top left corner of the table and choose No Borders to hide the borders. And we're done. Method 2 makes use of the tab button on your keyboard. Instead of creating a table, highlight the equation and the equation number. Then choose Align Right or press Ctrl R. Then put the cursor between the equation and the caption number and press the tab key on your keyboard to move the equation to the middle. Which method do you prefer? Number 6. Similar to the use of figures, you should also introduce tables in the body text. To cross-reference a table, go to References and click Cross-References. Under Reference Type, choose Table and then the table you want. Under Insert Reference To, choose Only Label and Number, and then press Insert. Cross-references are shaded in gray when the text is selected. To cross-reference an equation, just repeat the process, but under reference type, choose open bracket instead. Number 5. The mnemonic CDC. Call out, describe, and comment, and avoiding ending a section with a figure also apply to tables. Do check out my earlier video on how to follow these conventions. For equations, the conventions for captioning, numbering, and calling out are the same with 3 exceptions. 1. You only number those equations that will be called out. Examples are the equations you will repeatedly mention in the paper, as well as equations with the final result. 2. Equations need not be called out before they are displayed, meaning that as long as the equation is numbered, the call out can come later in the paragraph. 3. Equations need not be cited unless they are new or not well known. For example, you do not need to cite the source for E equals to mc squared, but you can definitely name Einstein. Number 4. Adjusting row and column widths and heights of a table. Distribute rows evenly and distribute columns evenly. Do what they say. So just choose the rows or columns you want to adjust and pick your option. Fit to content and fit to window are similar in terms of results, but different in terms of what is permitted after. Let's just first choose a table. Right-click and move over to Auto Fit. Both fit to content and fit to window can be found there. If you choose fit to content, the table width is decided by the width required by your table content. Because of this, your table width will seem like it is locked, meaning that you cannot resize the table by dragging the table border on the right side. Although weirdly, you can drag the left border or the square at the bottom right corner. If you choose Fit to Window, the table will extend from the left to the right margin. But you can resize the table all you want. Since every table is different, my advice for you is to try out both and adjust the rows and columns manually to get the best look for your table. Number 3. If two tables share similar levels or dimensions, consider combining them into one. Why? Because of Occam's razor. Entities are not to be multiplied without necessity. Or, more things should not be used than are necessary. That is particularly true if you have a before and after case for tables. Simply replace the second table with a second column in the first one. If you need more table width, try changing the orientation of the page. My last video has a demonstration on how to change page orientation. Number 2. Always imagine the look of a table after transposing rows and columns. We authors are constantly limited by the width of the page, but not by the vertical height of it. That's why whenever we have created a table, we should also imagine how the same table will look when the rows and columns are transposed. For example, in this table 70, the text in the top row cells are generally much longer than those in the first column. In this case, we can try transposing the rows and columns. Here's what we need to do. Go to the top left corner of the table and select the small square to select the whole table. Then, right-click and copy the table. After that, open Excel, and on any cell, right-click and go to Paste Options. You can move over the cursor to either keep source formatting or match destination formatting. In this case, I will choose the latter to match the Excel's formatting, which means no formatting. Now, select all the cells with content and then copy the cells using Ctrl-C. Then select any cell, right-click, and choose Paste Special. Then in the Paste Special pop-up, check Transpose. Press OK. This should give you a transposed table which has the rows and columns switched around. Copy this table from Excel and head back to Word. Select the original table and right-click. Under Paste Options, choose Merge Table. Now all that is left to do is to remove the extra rows and to adjust the width of the table to improve its looks. You can use my tip 4 to help you with this. Where necessary, you may also consider changing the text direction to minimize cell width. Simply select the cell you want to change text direction, go to Layout, and under Alignment, keep clicking Text Direction until you are satisfied. Easy peasy. Number 1. Consistency is important. Make sure that all the font types, font sizes, table design, equation and table caption numbers, and the number of decimal places are consistent throughout the entire paper. This will take time if you are doing it manually, so do try to use styles as often as possible. Once you feel like making stuff consistent again, simply press Ctrl-A to select everything, and then right-click and select Update Field. This will update all figures, tables, and equation caption numbers, in-text citations, reference lists, as well as everything else that has been formatted using styles. If your paper is very long, this updating process will take a bit of time, ranging from seconds to minutes, but it is definitely worth it. And there we have it! My top 10 tips for mastering the use of tables and equations. Hope you have enjoyed this video. In the next video, I'll share my top 10 other tips for perfecting your paper or report. See you, and thanks for watching.